Hey YouTube, Kenny Tony coming at you today. We have this video for you. So sitting behind us we have Big Blue 2018 F150 XLT 6-inch lift rough country Vertex suspension. But we're going to get to basically a follow-up of the under $50 parts that I've ordered for my truck 2 years ago. We're going to see which one of those we still recommend, which one of those are trash, if any of them are trash, and how they've held up for the past 2 years. So I actually have a list in my pocket. We're going to walk around the truck, talk about if we still have these things, would we do them again, would we not do them again, and if it's worthy of the money. So 2-year follow-up. All right, everyone, so we have the big F150 sitting behind us, and the first thing that we're going to be talking about in this video is the window tint. So we just basically got some basic 20% window tint from Walmart. Nothing crazy. You get it from Walmart, AutoZone. Basically just a really quick, cheap kit from online. I did go to Amazon and get one of the install kits, which is maybe about another 12 bucks. It wasn't nothing. Included the squeegee bottles and a couple razors. But overall, it has held up great in the past 2 years. So I don't have any bubbles, any peelings, any kind of crazy discoloration. It still is 20% and it looks absolutely amazing. We did the window strip as well, and it held and is holding absolutely wonderful. No complaints about that at all. The next thing we have going on around the machine is a cheap antenna that we got off Amazon, maybe like 12 bucks. Nothing crazy. I still have great reception. It hasn't fallen apart, hasn't come loose, but looking at it, it still is good. Maybe slightly down here on the carbon fiber look, it's a little bit of fading, but it's nothing that's going to really be any kind of concern to me. When we get inside of the truck, I did put the center console tray. One of my videos I did put some foam gaskets and the sticky stuff like windowsill around it. It doesn't rattle, it doesn't do anything, and with a slight pull to the left or to the right, you can lift it right up and down and then access everything below it, in which I have nothing down there. Usually, since it's becoming wintertime, I'll put a couple thin blankets in there just in case it gets cold, and for any reason I need something like that for my children. So that's held up great. All right, next thing is the film that we put on the cluster. So this cluster has been upgraded since my last video. I got one of those from Living It Up clusters and it looks absolutely amazing, but as you saw, it was red when we first got in the truck. I did a video on that, and the film was not that much money, maybe $8 to $10 for just a roll of film, so I recommend that again. The Avs Window Visors. They have been sticking well for 2 years, haven't had anything rattle, anything come loose, and they do absolutely amazing. So just going around them, no issues, no leakage, no noise, and they are the low profile design, which come across here and make your window look a little bit smaller, so I absolutely love those. We had a roll of vinyl. The whole roll was about $20, but we put a little bit back here to make sure we don't have any rock chips, and it's done its purpose. Slightly under the edges, I have a little bit of like peeling up here and there. However, overall, it does its purpose and is looking great. It is something that I can easily peel off at any point in time and replace. Third brake light. The original one that I got in that video didn't seem to work after a while, but I replaced it in about 3 months. So this one's been in there for about 18 months, and it works absolutely great. Came from Amazon, cheapo, but it works well. If you want to know exactly which one it is, check out my other videos, or just leave me a comment and I will send that video to you in the comment section. The F150 stickers, absolutely great. The nightlight rear bumper lights, absolutely great. They're flush, reverse. These ones are probably about $18. And then I just put a bead of silicone in there and mounted them in after I cut up the bracket. But those are absolutely amazing. The recessed F250 lights, they still come on. They still come on and function as they should. No flickering, no issues. Like, see it, 2 years have been in there, and they work better than the flush ones. When you get the flush ones here, they seem to put a lot of glare on that rear view camera, but with the F250 recessed ones, they seem to have getting the job done with no issues. Tailgate Assist is the one that everyone kind of does on the truck. Still holds up, no problem at all. puddle lights. And these ones here, as you're seeing, I put these in here and I wired them on to be factory. So when I unlock, as you see, one here works, one here doesn't. Neither of them have the dome on them. Let's see what it looks like on the other side of the truck. This one still has its dome, and that one doesn't, but this one, both of them are still working. So that's just what they are. These were $12 for a set of 6, so we do have a couple extra. The lower grille has held up since I installed it 2 years ago as well. It's got the honeycomb. I ordered the material, cut it off, and then installed that, put a little silicone to hold it, and it's held up great in those past 2 years. And the grill paint was about 50 bucks. So I did that. As far as it goes over the years, I have one chip here, big chip, and a sizable one there. I think I'm going to redo this after winter, springtime. But that's about it as far as these cheap upgrades or cheap changes that I did for this truck. So that's basically going to wrap it up for the $50 upgrades that we did on the truck. So in the past 2 years, none of the cheapos have really failed on me. They've really kind of stood the ground, held their own, and been absolutely amazing. I am looking at going to put there is a ambient lighting kit that I put into the I put into the Subaru that I really like. I think I'm going to go ahead and install one into this truck as well. I really like the look of it. So we're going to get that ambient lighting kit put in there eventually. At some point, I'm going to have my wires and try to have it function as factory as possible. They do have multiple colors like my wife's, but for the most part, we have her set on red. So that's what I'll probably either put red or blue on the inside of this. Everything is held up. These fog lights, I didn't put those on the list because they were only close to 50. They were like $52, maybe 53, so they were over the $50 budget. However, they're absolutely amazing. They look just like the Morimotos, and I knew because I had Morimotos in the black F150. But if you shop for some, make sure you get some that have like the domed look. So it's domed this way and this way, so it's kind of like a projector style look, as you would think the Morimoto lights do. It's not just like a tube, but those absolutely work amazing. Overall, would I change anything that I've done to this truck in those past 2 years? Absolutely not. The only thing that I am going to have to work with is these puddle lights, and as I stated, they came with a pack of 6, and I actually bought another pack of 6, so I have 10 more or 6 more or something like that out in the building because I bought a couple packs of them. And I'm going to actually just put a little silicone around the lens part because I'm wondering if they quit functioning because the lens came off and then all the circuitry is exposed. So I'm going to put a little bit of clear silicone around those to see if that's going to hold them in. I'm going to swap all those out here shortly. I mean, this is the time to kind of do it. The days are, the hours, daylight is getting less and less. So we're just going to make sure we can have as much light out here for my wife and everyone when we get in the truck as possible. Like I said, tint's held up, lenses held up, everything was still cheap, but the quality seemed to be really good. Yeah, so that's going to wrap up this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. $50 upgrades are worth it. I don't really know if I have much between the $50 and $100 mark. Once you get up into the $100 mark, things tack up really quickly. And for the most part, not much stuff was like $100 or maybe $150. Everything kind of got relatively expensive, like the wheel wall liners and like the tonneau cover and like the spray-in bed liner. Things started adding up, the leather and all that. But overall, this truck has been absolutely amazing to me. I absolutely love this truck. It is a little different sometimes being a black dude in a lifted truck. People kind of don't expect it as much, but I love this F150. It is absolutely amazing. I did look at an F250, but I really can't justify it because I've never had to hook up this truck to anything that I couldn't tow or haul, so I really can't justify the F250. And the one I was looking at was local at the shop, local at the dealership. It was big in silver, was already lifted, and it was $78,000, which I can't justify at any point anyways. But all right, this truck is about the F150. Enjoy.